Hello there, Virgo. Welcome to your check-in. Let's see what's going on for you today. If you are new here, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. All right, these are timeless readings, so trust that the universe has brought you here because there is something in today's card reading that will help clarify any questions that you may have. Anything that is weighing heavily on your mind or in your heart, trust that there is a message here for you. So please take what resonates and leave the rest for everyone else. All right, bottom of the deck. Wow, look at that. So we've got the moon card here. Again, so I think right now everyone is kind of running around, and what I'm sensing from a lot of the readings that I've done is that there's a lot of questions people have. Things aren't really very clear. And whenever moments like that happen, I always tell a lot of people that, you know, that's the time for us. That's the time that the universe gives us a chance to go within and to really connect with our intuition. Anytime things get a little bit heavy, or anytime things kind of just seem, you know, like you're kind of foggy, you just don't understand, like, why are things happening the way they are? You have a lot of questions. That's the time really where you connect with your higher self, to trust your intuition and really just kind of block out whatever it is that's coming forward, because I feel like that's when there's a lot of noise. When there's too much noise around you, that's really the key time to really connect with your intuition. All right, so here we've got the Justice card. The Justice card is all about karmic energy, right? Fairness. So the thing here is that with the intuition, right, sometimes things, like I said, things get a little bit noisy and we end up reacting too quickly to things. And so sometimes we get caught up in the moment. If there's a conflict or a situation that's around us, it's very, very easy to get sucked into that energy that is around us, whether it's at work, at home, family gatherings, friends, whatever it is. Sometimes the energy that whatever energy is pervasive or present in that moment, in that group of people, that can sometimes draw you in. And if it's really negative energy, you're going to want to be careful that you're not putting that in your, I call it my orb, right? You know, like my bubble. Be very protective of your bubble is what I'm trying to say. Whatever energy you let in, that can really affect your overall energy. Now, karmic energy is about the energy you put out into the universe, because ultimately that's what is mirrored back to you. So you want to make sure that you are protecting your energy at all times, making sure that you're sending out positive energy so that it returns right back to you. Be very protective of who you surround yourself with, because that karmic energy, it really does. It affects overall what happens to you, the energy around you. Because if you notice, if you're around a lot of negative energy, most often you don't want to do anything else. You get stuck. And what I'm trying to say here is that, I mean, there is no magic. There is no such thing as magic or, you know, or anything like that. We manifest things because we put things into action, and then we end up getting the results eventually of our actions, right? You know, but it all depends on the energy that you have within you that you send out. I hope that's making sense, but I'm sort of belaboring it, and I'm going to start moving on here. But really, I'm getting a sense here all about your energy level. Now, there are certain things that happen around you, obviously. So you've got 3 major arcanas thus far. So there's something very important in this message today. This is a card of strength. So your inner strength is going to be tested. And so when I was talking about being protective of your energy level, there's going to be times where you're going to be challenged. And it might happen today, maybe tomorrow. Or just any time. But, you know, when you're trying to focus really hard and tell yourself, okay, today I'm going to really protect my energy and everything's going to be positive, I'm going to be sending it out. Do you ever notice that, like, that is the time that you're most challenged, you know? And I always say, be careful what you ask for, because, you know, you tell yourself, oh, it's going to be all positive today. And then that becomes somewhat a very conflict heavy kind of day. People really test you, you know, whether you're driving and people are really aggressive, or you're at the grocery store and people just kind of, you know, they're kind of irritating. I can't help it, you know, but yeah, definitely it's a time for you to really gain that wisdom, go within again, like I said, and really work on that inner strength, work on that, your ability to handle challenges in a different way, right? Like seeing things from a different perspective. All right. My goodness, I'm just talking so much. All right. So number 6 here. So 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is again about nostalgia, about you thinking about the past and reminiscing, maybe thinking about both the good times and the bad times, and in these situations. Now, this is in the core of your reading here, so that tells me it's a little bit heavy, maybe remembering past hurts or your childhood or anything like that. Now, remember, do not live in the past. Learn from the past. Use the wisdom from the past, but make sure that you're always moving forward. Sorry, this is already taking too long. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Four of Swords. Take a rest. And this is perhaps the time for you to really reflect on the past here. Take a break, connect with your higher self, connect with the divine, pray, meditate, whatever you need to do to really connect with your source, to God, the universe, however way you find yourself connecting to that universe, right? That universal energy. All right, so you've got here the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is telling us that there's energy here about new love, that feeling of just kind of being really enamored with something, whether you're trying something new and it's really just kind of lighting you up a little bit and just makes you feel warm all over. This is a really good feeling. And if you are meeting somebody new, that's wonderful as well. If you are feeling as though you have this never-ending nightmare, this thing where it's constantly just in your mind, right? You're thinking about the past a lot, and it's really causing you a lot of anxiety, fear, blame, shame, regret, all of that stuff that's keeping you in this place of darkness and heaviness. Make sure, so remember I told you you were going to be tested, your inner strength was going to be tested. Here's a prime example, because universe, just like I always tell you guys, universe wants you to evolve. We are meant to be on a journey to become our highest and best self. And in moments like this, when we are reliving the past, reliving past memories and hurt, and past negative feelings, that's where the inner strength really comes in. And that's when you really have to fight. When you think you cannot fight anymore, that's when you fight even more for yourself, because that's where it counts. That's when you really get a test of who you are and what you are made of. And in those times, don't forget to take a rest. Don't forget to try to connect with your higher self, with the divine. We're all going to be challenged. Some of you may be challenged a little bit more today than others, but remember to draw on your inner strength and really connect with the divine, connect with your higher self, and really trust that the universe will balance things out eventually. All right, the Star card here tells us that you are going to be needing to heal, this situation here, obviously, right? Because you can't live in darkness forever. Always choose light. Now, the Star card is about you regaining your hopes, your faith, and you have emotional healing. This brings about wish fulfillment, because once you are in that state where you're so hopeful and you've regained your faith and you know that the universe has your back, that's when you start to see wonderful things happening around you, the synchronicities, all of the gifts that the universe is trying to give you. But in this time of worry, insecurity, fear, anxiety, that's, you can't see anything in the dark, right? You cannot see anything in the dark. But the Star card here is giving us hope that you will heal from everything else that's happened in the past or is still happening in your life. The Three of Wands here tells us that you are ready to embark on a new journey. Maybe you're sick and tired of feeling this anxiety and sadness in your life, this despair, this never-ending despair that keeps recurring every single day. And so there's a part of you here that's ready to move forward and let go and just, leave that in the past. But this is, the overall theme here is again, you trying to evolve spiritually, evolving and trusting your intuition, trusting in the higher source and your higher self. And here's a perfect example of connecting with your divine, with the divine power. And this is about rules, traditions, systems. And you will be in a situation here where your wisdom and your connection to the divine is going to allow you to teach others about their strength, about their karmic energies, about how to connect with the divine. You're going to be in this position here where you are going to be the giver. You're going to be able to give that wisdom and share that wisdom with others. All right, so things are moving very quickly for you here. There's going to be a lot of focused energy that's coming up. And maybe once you let go of this anxiety, fear, worry, sadness, things are going to start working in your favor. And then that's where the universe starts giving you that wish fulfillment that comes with the healing. The Tower moment here is you're reliving it, right? You're reliving it every single day because you haven't processed it. And it gives you great anxiety because, of course, who wants the Tower moment to repeat itself? No one, right? But here's the thing. Sometimes getting over hardship is I can't say it's easy, right? It's always very hard to grieve something, but it makes it more tolerable and manageable when we find the lessons we were supposed to learn about ourselves during these times of hardship, right? And so when I say the things that you learn about yourself, we're talking the inner strength, we're talking about love, the ability to receive love, give love, Maybe it's your ability to give unconditional love. I mean, that's very rare. If you think about it, really today, think about unconditional love and what that means for you. It is very, very difficult to give unconditional love because we're humans, right? But nevertheless, what I'm trying to say here with the Tower moment is you're going to use the wisdom that you have, right? The connection that you have with the divine source and your healing, the wisdom you gain here and the freedom you now have by healing yourself, by allowing yourself to really connect to your higher power. And that wisdom will allow you to get through this, and it will open things up for you and make things more clear. And then you start to realize, what was the purpose of all of that? What did it teach me about myself? Well, you'll probably learn very quickly that you're much, much stronger than you know that you think you are. A lot of times we give ourselves way too little credit for our strength, and we always shortchange ourselves, and we always think, no, I'm not capable of doing that, or whatever. However way you phrase it. But we always kind of shortchange ourselves. I don't know why. It's kind of very common. But, and if it's not happening to you, that's wonderful. Congratulations. That's great. But I would say for a lot of my, the people that I meet or encounter during the day, I notice that they will shortchange themselves. But you are a lot stronger than you think, Virgo. You have so much going for you, and this Tower moment is just something that you were supposed to learn from. And the minute you learn that, that's when you evolve. And here you go, you've got the King of Cups. The King of Cups is having that wisdom, that compassion, because you've rested before, because you gave yourself a chance to recover from all of this turmoil and pain here, and you've connected with your higher self. Your wisdom is beyond measure, and you're so much more compassionate, you're so much more understanding, and you're going to be in this position here where you are helping others. You're literally being of service to others. And that's the thing, a lot of times we don't realize how we help others just by simple ways, listening to a conversation, saying good morning, giving somebody a nice smile, opening the door for someone. That just, you have no idea what someone is going through, right? So your leadership, your wisdom that you have gained from this hardship has given you so much compassion that you're ready to just give that to others, right? You have no problems being that person that people go to for compassion, for advice, for that wisdom, because you have knowledge and you have a great balance between your head and your heart. You can be both logical and very compassionate at the same time, which is a wonderful, wonderful quality. Not too many people have that quality. So there's your card right there, the Hermit. All right, so just wanted to let you know, that this is your reading right here, and then you've got the World card here. So you are the Hermit right on top of the World card here. So you are present in this reading here, and you will need to take some time out to just isolate yourself and let yourself connect with the divine and gather the meaning, gather the lessons that you were meant to learn, that wisdom. The World card here tells me that you are going to have emotional healing and emotional closure here, and you are going to set yourself forward to embark on a new journey here. Okay, and then underneath it all, look at that, you've got awakening, spiritual awakening. So it is happening for you. It's going to get to the point where it's like you're going to get a chance to really reflect on everything here, and you're going to see, and then next thing you know, everything changes for you, and then that's when the wheels of fortune and change begins to really happen, and you see those effects very quickly. So this guy popped out. Which one is this? Look at that, Ace of Wands. Yeah, you're being inspired. You're getting that light bulb moment. You are, things are opening up for you. I would love to see like an Ace of Swords or something like that, right? Because then we know you're going to get clarity. But definitely, you're getting a charge up. You're with this momentum here. I think that once you work through and heal from all of that pain, I think new offers are going to come your way. Oh, look at you. You showed back up again, the Hermit card. So again, don't forget, go within. Allow yourself to really connect with your intuition, connect with your higher source, so that way you can gain wisdom in everything that's happened here, so that you can really, work on your intuition, work on listening to your intuition. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so definitely new opportunities coming your way. Doors are opening. If this is a career reading for you, yeah, definitely new opportunities to earn money, to move up in a company, move up in your career. Some of you guys, you may be starting a new relationship, a new, very passionate endeavor, whatever it is that like a passion project even. Yeah, definitely. Look at that. You've got emotional fulfillment here, satisfaction, wish fulfillment. So we'll put that next to the star card there. One more. Again, you've got the Judgment card here. You're going to have spiritual awakening here. It's coming. Once you work through this, and you really understand the reason for your Tower moment, for things being shaken up in your life, shaken up in your life and flipped around. I think you're really going to regain your sense of self, and you're also going to have spiritual awakening here, and you're going to be so much wiser, and you're going to be able to be of service to others because you will connect with people around you. Beautiful. Look at that. You've got the Emperor. You're going to end up really being in control of the situation here. You're going to be very stable, and really just, the culmination, to me, the Emperor is like the embodiment of all of the kings, compassionate, logical, analytical, really charismatic, full of energy, passion, all of those things, and very wealthy and filled with abundance. It's coming your way. I mean, that is the bottom of the deck here, and it's on the way to you. It's just that you really need to work on these moments here, because the 9 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, 10 of Swords, all of those keep returning in your reading here, and it tells me that it's time for you to move forward and to really let go of that. So, really start processing it so that you can receive everything that the universe is trying to give you and present to you. I don't want you to, deny yourself opportunities. I want you guys to always have the very best. All right, show the world the real you. Yeah, don't be afraid to show the world who you truly are, because you're pretty great. Take time to breathe out. So that's part of this 4 of Swords here. Take time, really, to be by yourself, to breathe out, to just kind of collect yourself and be one with your divine. All right, have faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. Yeah, do not give up. Whatever you do not give up on your fight to get over and this process, this grief that you've got. The answers you need are coming. Yeah, so that's where you trust your intuition, right? The answers you need for the questions that you have, they are coming. It's on the way. You just have to trust the universe is working in your favor. All right. Thank you so much for being here today, Virgo. It was kind of all over the place when I first started. It was just kind of, I felt like I was getting pulled in different directions, but hopefully it tightened it up a little bit towards the end here. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if no one's told you today, I love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.